She messaged, "I didn't steal your idea, I just improved it." After her big launch, I wrote back, "Check your inbox." When she opened the cease and desist, complete with my patent filing from 2 years earlier, her improved version went dark. "I'm 35, male, and used to work at a mid-sized marketing agency with Molly, 33. We sat on the same team for about 3 years, grabbed the occasional drink after work, swapped horror stories about clients. I thought we were friends, work friends, but still. 2 years back, I came up with an idea. Not groundbreaking, but practical. A subscription tool for small businesses that automated social media posts with AI, but with a twist. Instead of pumping out generic filler, it learned from actual customer interactions and built posts in their authentic brand voice. Basically a social media manager that studied you. I was hyped, shared it with Molly over a beer one night. Her reaction? Lukewarm at best. "That's just Hootsuite with extra fluff." Then she smirked. "Look, Lucas, no offense, but every marketer has ideas. Execution is the only thing that counts." Fine, but I believed in this one. Nights and weekends, I built a working prototype, tested it with a few local businesses. It worked, and it worked really well. And here's where I wasn't dumb. Before showing anyone, I filed a provisional patent, $130, a weekend of paperwork, and suddenly I had patent pending status. I even trademarked the name Echo Post. Yes, I'm that paranoid guy who reads legal blogs. 6 months later, I showed Molly the working version. Her tune flipped instantly. "Holy crap, this actually works. Why aren't you pitching investors?" I said I wanted more test users first. She suddenly offered to help. Beta testing, client connections, feedback. I was grateful and gave her admin access to the beta. 3 months later, she quit. Said she was chasing new opportunities. We promised coffee soon, knowing we never would. Meanwhile, I kept pushing Echo Post forward. Filed a full patent, $3,000. Ouch. On board more testers. Even started talking to an angel investor who seemed serious. Then last week, my phone blew up with messages. "Dude, did you see this?" Molly had just launched VoiceBox AI. My exact product. Different name, slightly tweaked interface, but identical features, same unique selling point, even a near-identical onboarding flow. Her LinkedIn was flooded with likes and congratulations comments. And the kicker? Her post. "Thrilled to announce my new venture, VoiceBox AI. After years in marketing, I realized small businesses need authentic voices online. We built a platform to help them find it." The audacity. Then came her text. "Hey, saw you're still working on that social media idea. Just launched something similar. Great minds think alike, right?" I didn't reply. I saved every screenshot and called my lawyer. She stole everything. He asked, "Can you prove it?" Oh, yes. I'd given her beta access 9 months earlier. I had the patent filings. Emails timestamped. Logs showing her activity. He laughed. "Send me everything. This'll be fun." Turns out, she hadn't just stolen my concept. She'd pitch investors with my beta metrics. A friend at a VC firm told me she'd literally used screenshots from my dashboard with my branding cropped out. 2 days later, she texted again, "Didn't steal your business. Just made it better. Competition is healthy, right?" I finally replied, "Check your email." Seconds later, "Are you kidding me? This is insane. You can't patent an idea. I made it better. I launch while you're still tinkering. You'll ruin my life over ego." I ignored her meltdown. The cease and desist was crystal clear. Shut down VoiceBox immediately. Hand over all assets, code, and financial records. She had 10 days. She chose poorly. Instead of complying, she went nuclear. Posted a sob story on LinkedIn. "Male gatekeepers in tech are trying to silence women founders." She tagged me by name, painting me as bitter and insecure. It blew up in our little marketing bubble. My DMs filled with "not cool, man." But here's the thing, documentation doesn't lie. My lawyer filed for an injunction. We submitted the patent filings, the email threads where I explained the concept, her beta access logs, Even code comparisons proving she copy-pasted entire functions. The judge granted a temporary restraining order. VoiceBox had to shut down immediately. Mallory spiraled. Her lawyer argued, ideas can't be patented. Wrong. Implementations can. She'd significantly improve it. She changed button colors. I abandoned the project by not launching fast enough. What? My giving her beta access implied permission. Absolutely not. While she flailed, one of her own devs, Raj, reached out. Hey man, I didn't know the backstory. She told us you two had agreed to split. I've got emails you'll want. He forwarded proof. Mallory instructed him to make it different enough to dodge legal issues, and literally admitting she was copying my code. And the cherry on top? She was already charging $49 per month. About 200 signups in week one. $10K revenue from my stolen work. We added wire fraud to the lawsuit. Her final attempt at damage control? A vague post saying she was taking a break from social media to fight baseless accusations. Then she made her biggest mistake. She went after my investors. Update 2. Remember that angel investor I mentioned? Guillermo, solid guy, built and sold a SaaS company before switching to investing. We've been talking about Echo posts for months. Somehow, Mallory figured out who he was, probably by creeping LinkedIn, and emailed him. Claimed I was difficult, had a reputation for threatening lawsuits, and suggested he'd be better off putting his money into VoiceBox since they were already live and making revenue. Guillermo immediately forwarded me her email with one line. This person must think I was born yesterday. He even CC'd me in his reply to her. I'm fully aware of the legal dispute between VoiceBox and Echo Post. I don't fund stolen IP. Don't contact me again. But she didn't stop there. She started targeting my beta users, emailing them that Echo Post was shutting down and they should migrate to VoiceBox. One of them, Douglas, a restaurant owner, called me, confused. Lucas, I just got this email saying you're closing shop, but I literally upgraded my plan last week. I explained everything. He was furious. She stole your product, and now she's poaching your customers? Give me your lawyer's number. I'll testify. Turns out 12 more testers got the same email, and were ready to back me up. My lawyer added tortious interference to the lawsuit. The preliminary hearing was last Thursday. Mallory walked in wearing a power suit, projecting confidence. That confidence shattered once the evidence hit the screen. The judge's face when he saw the code comparison? Priceless. Miss Fitzgerald, he said, care to explain why your independently developed code uses the exact same variable names, including one where frequency is misspelled as Funi, identical in both products? Her lawyer tried to object. The judge cut him off. Counselor, either your client committed theft, or she magically reproduced the same typo in the same spot, which seems more likely. Then we dropped Raj's emails, the ones where she literally told her devs to copy my functions but rename them. Her lawyer buried his head in his hands. The ruling was immediate. Permanent injunction against VoiceBox. All code and assets transferred to me. Every cent of revenue, about $40,000, turned over. Additional damages to be determined at trial. Mallory burst into tears, not sadness, rage. Stormed out yelling about how the system is stacked against women in tech. Yeah, a system that upheld my intellectual property. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. But of course, she wasn't finished. Final update. The last 2 months have been exhausting, but vindicating. After the ruling, a sane person would have walked away. Not her. She doubled down spectacularly. First, she tried rallying women in tech support. She launched a site, techbrogatekeeping.com, spinning her own version of events with anonymous testimonials, forums, and even a crowdfunding campaign for legal fees. It collapsed in 2 days after someone, not me, dropped court documents in the comments. The code comparison, her own emails admitting to copying. Site went offline within 48 hours. Then she got desperate. Hired a new attorney who filed counterclaims. Defamation, gender discrimination, emotional distress, lost wages. My lawyer laughed reading them. She was throwing spaghetti at the wall. None of it stuck. Every claim tossed. The gender one especially, Judge flat out said, Theft doesn't become legal based on the thief's gender. During discovery, we uncovered how deep her scheme went. She registered VoiceBox as an LLC the day after I first demoed the prototype, bought domains mimicking Echo Post, fabricated testimonials using stock photos, paid a PR firm to astroturf her launch. She sunk nearly $50,000, credit cards, loans, even money from her parents, into building a stolen company she had no right to run. Final judgment came down last week. $40,000 revenue handed to me, $100,000 in punitive damages for willful infringement, $25,000 in legal fees, plus a public LinkedIn post admitting the theft. She couldn't pay, filed bankruptcy almost immediately, but the true karma came from the tech world. Word spread fast, dev groups, startup forums, newsletters. Her name is radioactive now. Raj told me she applied at his new firm. HR Googled her, found the case files, and tossed a resume. Her court-ordered LinkedIn post was brutal in its simplicity. I acknowledge that VoiceBox AI was created using stolen intellectual property from Echo Post. The code, concept, and implementation were taken without permission from Lucas Morrison. I apologize for my actions and for false statements made during the case. The comments shredded her. Yikes. This is why NDAs exist. Imagine nuking your career over this. Meanwhile, Echo Post launched last month. Guillermo led a $500,000 seed round. We got 400 paying customers and 3 developers on payroll, including Raj, who's loyal and sharp. Mullery made one final attempt through a mutual contact, wanted to apologize, and asked if we could move forward professionally. I told her, the only thing I need from you is the money the court ordered. Nothing else. She's now working at her dad's insurance company. Posted about excited to start a new chapter in financial services. Comments turned off. The irony? If she just asked a partner on Echo Post back then, I probably would have said yes. Her marketing skills with my product could have been huge. Instead, she stole, lied, and wrecked her own career. But in a way, she was right. I did get the better version. Better for me. I own 100% of a funded startup with a future. She owns nothing but her regrets. Thanks for following this wild ride. Protect your ideas, document everything, and trust your gut when someone brushes off your vision. Oh, and Mullery, if you're reading this, the $140,000 you owe me is still gaining interest.